Ooh, does this live up to the hype? Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca. Today I am going to review for you the MAC Studio Radiance Serum Foundation. So, I'm going to get this out of the box for you. You guys, this is kind of expensive. It's in the $40 range. Yeah, I used a $15 off coupon I had at Ulta, so I felt better about purchasing it. But I'm going to be upfront with you. I was a little surprised at how much this cost. Now, it claims to have 24-hour wear, around-the-clock hydration. 90% of users saw their skin instantly hydrated, and pores have been diminished, texture smoothed. What else? Got like it's of course water, glycerin, the usual. It has some olive oil, jojoba, you know, so there are some ingredients in here where of course the serum part gets its name. And I think it's got a lot going for it, and I want to give it a test. So I'm going to give you a wear test. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to put a full face of makeup on, and then I'm going to check in with you guys like 6 hours from now, maybe longer. And we're going to talk about how my face looks. They say 24 hours, and that's so nice of them. And I think we all have made fun of and established the fact that none of us are wearing makeup for 24 hours. I mean, if we can avoid it. I can only think of if I had to fly somewhere and show up with my face on, my makeup on, or I was wearing makeup and then had a really long flight and layover, etc., and didn't get a chance to wash my face. So that's all I can think of, but okay. I do want our makeup to wear, you know? I think maybe that's what they're just doing, is they're emphasizing like, oh, look at this, it's 24-hour wear. And then we say, oh, well, good, that means I could get a good 8 to 10 hours of it. Well, sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. So let's see. I don't have a vigorous day. It's a very basic day for me. It's walking my dog, running errands, helping my mom, and then coming home, cooking dinner. Like it's a very usual day for me. And with the colder months coming, I thought how great to find a foundation that promises long wear, but also keeps the skin hydrated. So I am wearing just my regular Dermatology sunscreen. I will link that below if you are interested to know. I'm not wearing any primer. I'm not gonna do any setting spray, and I don't touch up. So there you go. Let's talk shade. So we know that MAC has their like NC and W, and you guys have all told me that, well, actually the C is warm and the W is cool. And yes and no, because I did look in person at the shades, and the W, I gotta say, is not cool. They are very warm. My usual shade is NC20. I purchased this Studio Fix, this one, which is very similar, but the idea is that it is portable. It's kind of do wherever you want to put it, and it also has kind of a more satin matte finish, whereas this promises to be radiant. This says it's got 36-hour wear. I didn't realize that, but whatever. So NC20 is a pretty good shade, especially it's my winter shade. I bought NC20 in this. I returned it. It was way too yellow. It was maybe a good summer shade if I was really self-tanning, but I wasn't feeling it. So I actually got NC 14.5, which surprised me. But what I did was I swatched this on the back of my hand, and then I kept swatching shades of this guy until I found one that looked the same, because I wasn't able to swatch it on myself, of course. So that was my next best thing. So there you go. I'm gonna put 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and you can see how much it is a very typical liquid foundation. And just for funsies, I am going to show you how it looks compared to this Studio Fix NC20. So you can see this NC20 is still, it almost still looks lighter than this. Isn't that crazy? feel like this comes off as a little thicker, a little more full coverage. I'll let you focus in on that a little longer. Yeah, NC 14.5, NC 20. There is something going on here. I am gonna use my BK Beauty 101. This happens to be the small one. Okay, look at that. Let's see. Oh, I like that. That looks really good. That is a match I can handle. I mean, I think what we like about MAC, don't worry, I'm not gonna get too crazy about MAC. Not really into their palettes. I like the basics. I like what MAC has to offer that is really hearkening back to their basic makeup artist days. I mean, they still are makeup artists, but I don't necessarily need different collabs and collections. I used to. I had the Mariah Carey, Cinderella, oh my gosh, Lady Gaga, Riri, like you name it. So I get it, I've done it. But for me right now, the way I'm probably just because I have makeup overload, that is not something I need to pursue. I used to buy the lipstick vaults for my daughter for Christmas, and those were so much fun. And even she kind of was like, you know what, it's okay, Mom, I've got plenty. And so we were like, okay. Yeah, so, all right. Very radiant, very, very radiant. I'm glowing. She's glowing for sure, for sure. Okay, love it. If you're NC20 like me or anything in that neighborhood, go low. Size down. No, what would you call it? Shade down. Now, I don't know. I'm curious to know if that continues with the darker shades too. Like, have the darker shades also amped up and there's a little more yellow, a little more gold. So I think when something has so much radiance, sometimes it's hard to see the coverage right away. And I think this does give nice coverage. I feel like it blended well. I mean, it is so radiant. Wow. It does not dry down. Haus Labs and this Studio Fix definitely dry down a little more. For old time's sake, I found this at TJ Maxx, you guys. It is a studio finish. It's the concealer. It's the potted concealer. I have shade NW20. Look how funny. Yeah, this stuff, man, OG days. Like, I think I had one of these. I think I had one of these when I was working for Clinique. And I think I used it because you couldn't use makeup that wasn't the makeup you're selling. So if you work for Clinique, you needed to wear all Clinique, or you need to at least have something on your face that you could show your customers, oh yeah, see this lipstick? That's Clinique and such. And you know, I mean, if you can fake it, fine. But you're better off just wearing the formulas anyway. But we all work next to we were all just coveting the MAC counter. You guys, the MAC counter was new in our Nordstrom. We were so excited. Oh my gosh. So finding concealer like this, oh, so much fun. So I love putting that concealer on with my finger. There is something about that concealer that really works well. And it does have SPF in it, and I think it's just so underrated. It's so underrated. What do we think? I like it. I'm sorry, I apologize for all the expensive stuff here, you guys. I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever contour palette. I will go into more detail on this palette. This, I think, sold out back, I'm trying to remember. At least I think it did. They're talking about like, oh my gosh, the cult favorite is back in, or the TikTok, the viral favorite is back in stock, which could totally be marketing, but I wanted this for a while, and Makeup Forever had 30% off their website. I think it was like a friends and family discount last month, or maybe earlier this month. So I ordered it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really nice. Perfect if you are, one, if you're an artist, definitely invest in it. Two, if you just love makeup and like to have all your stuff in, because you can really, you know, it's basically it's bronzer, it's concealer, it's contour, it's highlight. There's a blush one too. Oh, you know how that works. I'm gonna use this right here, this highlight or bronze. I'm not sure which one it is. I am kind of in love with it. It reminds me a little bit of the Salt New York and a little bit of the Bobbi Brown, or sorry, a little bit of the Jones Road. Not really the Miracle Balm, but kind of. And this definitely, okay, so you're gonna ask me, how does it compare to Fenty? How does it compare to the Salt New York? More coverage, just more pigment, more coverage. So not, still a satin finish, very nice on the skin, especially for mature skin, dry skins, works great. You can really just kind of dab it on. I'm gonna use my Makeup Revolution. This is $10. You get a loose, you get a pressed, and I love this. I love this very, very much. She's very, very much my fan. I'm very, very much a fan. So it's called their IRL powder in real life. And they came out with it when they did their concealers and foundations in that line, which I like those too, actually. Lots of coverage on those. I'm gonna do a little loose. So there's a little bit on the lid here. I'm counting on the fact that this Serum Radiant Foundation is going to come through after I powder. So even though I look like I'm killing the radiance right now, I have a feeling the way this feels so wet on my skin and moisturizing that I am absolutely going to be shiny by the end of this song. All right, let's keep on the theme of MAC. I have this paint pot I bought this in Taylor Gray. I think the thing, you know, people have their problem with MAC, and I know it's not perfect. And I know they have it's flawed. I'll say that. And I think, aren't they owned by Lauder now? But I will say that when they first came on the scene, I think that what's so incredible about them is inclusivity and advocacy. I think they've been kind of that voice for that, and I hope they still are. Also, I like that, and of course all their shades, and yeah, so I remember referring so many people to the MAC counter because Clinique just did not have, they just did not have shades for every skin color. Keeping it to a little more affordable again with this one, I've got my Always Naked Wet n Wild, and I'm gonna just put on a little bit of brown, right here, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do brows and mascara and come back and put on lipstick. Right. Well, I actually found a MAC Spice liner. I'm going to decide of these Velvet Slim Sticks, which one should I wear? That's Devoted to Danger, that's Hot Paprika. What's this one? So stay curious, here we come. I like these, but I think Revlon makes really good ones. I've got the gloss see-through. I am actually gonna put some on the, I like putting gloss on the back of my hand so I don't mess up the applicator. A tip. Let's take a look close up at the foundation. I like it. It's really nice. And I told you the radiance is gonna come through. Do you see it? I have not done highlighter. All I put on was that powder, okay? Which is just a translucent powder. It's not any kind of radiant powder or anything like that. So, it's nice. I definitely got a little mascara here though. Noon. Hi Pluto. And I'll see you around 7. All right, folks, guess what? It is, are you ready for it? 7:24 in the evening. And yeah, we're good. We're good. It's I'm gonna say that it's got a nice finish. It held up beautifully for dry skin. It is not, you know what's funny is I just put my face in the oven. I mean, that sounds weird. I'm making pizza and I opened the oven. It's like, so I've been opening my oven and it's like super hot and dry, and so that poof of hot dry air comes at your face. So it's kind of like, I wonder if my face would have been a little bit more luminous, a little bit more plump had I done this before I started baking. But everything in terms of, I'll give you like kind of a more close up, you know, we've got no texture, nice pores, nothing weird breaking down here. You know, everything looks good. You don't have any chin or my nose. Like everything looks good. I did reapply some lip gloss, that's it. The lipstick did not last my salmon salad this afternoon. But everything else, you know, I'm just like, this looks good. This looks really good. Yeah, there is no way this lasts 24 hours. I don't think this is long wear. Unless, I mean, maybe the primer, but, or maybe if I just did it without such a, no, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I really like it. Look, I think my forehead looks really good. I think it looks really smooth. I think my forehead kind of has a nice non-texture to it, and it definitely hasn't, there has been no creasing. That's pretty impressive, actually. I think my forehead looks actually really nice. Look at my forehead, everybody. Can you imagine if I'm just like walking around places like, hi. My forehead looks good. What's your greatest feature, Rebecca? My forehead. I really like it. It's expensive. I think it's expensive. I think this is a very expensive foundation. I understand that they're putting serum in the name, and I think they can justify the price tag with that. I don't know. I really don't know. So let's do this. If you've already gotten Haus Labs, because I liked that so much, I don't know if this is going to scratch a different itch for you. I think Haus Labs, for me, if Haus Labs for you was like it was for me, and that it was like hydrating on the skin, looked really nice, good solid coverage without being too thick, wore long enough, then good, right? If you needed something more hydrating, this is probably going to step that up for you. Yeah, and as far as the difference between these two, so this and this, I actually think this has more coverage and it just gives a more satin matte finish, so that this is more hydrating. Let me know in the comments what you thought. So yeah. Well, hey, if you enjoyed this, I really hope you subscribe to my channel because I'm here to serve you. Oh, that's my pizza. I gotta get my pizza out of the oven. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.